Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So I have a pretty consistently requested video for you today, and that is going to be how to install footwell lights in your car, and more specifically, how to install them so that when you turn the car on, they turn on themselves and you actually don't need to mess with them. Now the first thing is obviously going to be to get a footwell lighting kit. Now there's a lot out there and they're relatively inexpensive, so I would suggest going that extra little bit and probably spending a couple more bucks because you can get a lot more in the features that it has. And I specifically say Bluetooth and app control are a pretty solid one. They do a lot more customization in terms of the patterns I want to do, the colors I want to use. So I have the kit right here, and as you guys have probably seen in older videos, I do already have footwell lighting installed in my car, so I can't actually install another kit in there. So what we're going to be doing today is installing a kit in my sister's car, but I'm still going to show you how to do it to this car because you guys probably have a Fusion and are wanting to do it yourselves in your own car, because it is something that you can do to essentially any car. Just different install applications in the sense of getting the specifics of where you want to install it. And I specifically suggest using the cigarette lighter, because the good thing about using the cigarette lighter is that you can actually have it turn on and off with the car. So I'm just show you a little example right here. So as you can see, none are on. I turn it on, does that little cycle, and they are on. Excuse the dirtiness of the car, I did just come back from Austin. But nonetheless, it's very much that easy. You turn it off, and as you saw there, whenever you turn the vehicle off, it will turn off as well. It will stay on from time to time, depending on the situation that you're in, but nonetheless, it won't stay on more than that. It's like 5-10 minutes. So there's really nothing to worry about there. It won't drain your battery. You don't have to worry about anything. So the kit that I got from my sister is the Govee RGBIC car kit. And this is actually a little bit better than the one that I have. Mine is just the RGB. And to my understanding, RGB is basically just a single color on the LED strip, whereas the RGBIC kit is going to be that you can have multiple colors on the same strip, just like that in the photo. So she's gonna have the one up on me, but it's a gift, so I mean, don't really matter. So this kit is actually really inexpensive. It only costs about $30, and it has tons of features. You have the RGBIC, you have the app control. So let me go ahead and open the box and show you what we got. So one of the very helpful things that you have in this kit is the user manual, and it will give you a very solid breakdown of everything that comes with the kit, as well as a little casual install process. But the one thing that we are doing differently is that we are going to, instead of plug it into the cigarette lighter, we're going to be drawing power from the cigarette lighter, so that way we can tap into it behind the center console and have all the wires hidden. You can put the LED lights underneath the seat, underneath the dash, wherever you want to do it, wherever you want to make them fit, and we can go from there. And now you can see here we have this little assortment. You have the LED strips here, and on the back is the double-sided tape. This is 3M tape, so really high quality stuff. This is the piece that draws power to the cigarette lighter. As you can see, it just plugs in pretty easily. And then you have this little module right here in case you want to actually manually turn it on or off or mess with the brightness and the cycles. And the first thing that you want to do with any new piece for your car is test it and make sure it works. So we're just going to turn the car on, make sure it's all good, and then from there we can get to untying it. So we now have it plugged in, and you press the power button, and there you go. You can see they all work. Now that we know it works, we're good to go. I can go ahead and start disassembling the center console and just kind of show you guys how to get behind the dash. It's actually very easy. Will only take a couple minutes, but just note, you don't necessarily need to do that. You can very easily just leave it plugged into the cigarette lighter if you want to, but in case you do want to go that extra little bit, this is how you do it. First one you're going to remove is this leather piece right here. This one's pretty thin. Goes all the way from up here to the side of the center console. Definitely helps if you open this compartment right here. And I usually try to start getting this pry tool right between here. It's actually pretty easy to do, and it starts popping out pretty easily, just like that. A lot easier than most people anticipate. And that's basically it. That took all of about 20 seconds. That's one side. And you only need to do one side. You just need to pick the side that you want to be working from. It might be easier to do it on the passenger side, but nonetheless, it's the same process for both sides. If you do want a better look at the clips, there is one right here towards the end, one here at that little curve right there, one at the center, and then 3 leading up to this little curve right here. And from there, you go to this piece. This one's a little larger, but nonetheless, it's still pretty easy to do. You can even use your fingers and just literally do that. As you can see, there's a clip there, there's one there. And just kind of work your way around it. Don't be afraid to just massage it out a little bit. Obviously, you don't need to force it out. I do find that it helps getting the bottom clips out if you just kind of stick your hand in and just push down. As you can see here, it all wiggles out. And that's honestly how I got it out to paint it. It was actually very easy. Now this specific piece is a little difficult to get out of the car entirely just because it's kind of squished between the seat and the center console. You actually don't necessarily need to move it out because there's already access to the bottom side of the tray. But the other thing that you need to do after that is remove this trim piece right here, because this tray coming up does actually rub onto this. And I've done it a ton of times for you guys on this channel, but just to reiterate, you remove this little black piece right here, then this piece back here, and then from there you remove this piece. And you actually don't need to remove the entirety of it, just this little bottom section, just so you can get a little bit of clearance. But nonetheless, I'm still throwing this clip in right here so you guys can see how to specifically take it out. I don't want to do it right now just because I do have these pieces professionally painted and I don't want to scuff them up. But as you can see, we have full access to the clips that are holding this lower tray in position. So there's one right there, as you can see, one right there, and I believe it's mirrored on the other side, so just those 4. Just pop up those few clips, and then you have access to the wires for the cigarette lighter. But we're not doing it to this car. But don't worry, because all that's left is just wiring, and that's universal pretty much. But we're not doing it on this car nonetheless. We are doing it on my sister's car, which is this 2012 Dodge Challenger. As you can see, it has a 2-face wrap. It has the red stripe down the middle. It has red halos that are not on right now. 20-inch wheels, looks really, really cool. And probably one of my favorite things about it is you open the door and you have a full red interior. I do really like it. The only thing is that when you're driving at night, it's pretty dark in here. So this does make this car the perfect candidate for the install. It'll look really, really good when it's all said and done. But while I mess with the disassembly of the center console, I'll just go ahead and cut to the wiring aspect so you guys can get a pretty direct install guide for your Fusion. All right, guys, so the first thing you're gonna do is cut the plug off of the footwell lights. From there, it helps if you have a wire stripper. We actually lost ours, but nonetheless, you're gonna strip the wires and twist them up so they're not all scattered everywhere. So we found out that the red wire is positive and black is ground, and same with the cigarette lighter as well. Red is positive and black is ground. So very easy to remember in this specific scenario, but definitely use a multimeter in your own instances to figure out which is which. We are stripping the insulation on the cigarette lighter wires so that we can wrap the red positive wires from the footwell lights around the red positive wires of the cigarette lighter. So this is the contact that it's making to get power from the cigarette lighter. And once it's all secure, you want to get some electrical tape and wrap it around. Make sure everything is nice and not really going anywhere. There's definitely a lot more in-depth ways to go about this. We definitely know that. But we're not too experienced when it comes to messing with automotive wires and lighting. So this is more just the casual approach to do it. And all you're really gonna do is do the exact same thing to the ground wire, which was the black one. So basically what you're doing here is just securing all the wires, making sure it has good contact and making sure there's not anything's gonna tug on it or break that connection. Again, there's definitely way more in-depth ways to go about this. I'm actually linking a few videos down below just in case you need more information, because I probably wouldn't be the best one to give it to you, but this is specifically how we did it, and this is how it's been explained to me and how we went about it in our most casual manner. And now that we have both wires taped up, we're actually wrapping them together just so that it's more reminiscent of the factory wire and you don't have any cause for concern. And as you can see here, it looks just like the original wire, so good to go from here. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, now the actual hard thing, getting all the...
Everything back together?
Yeah. All right, so there you go, guys. Everything is wired and ready to be put in position. But as you can see, there's one wire right there. That's about where it's gonna be, not the exact positioning. But nonetheless, you can see I have all this space to where I can actually reach this rear wheel just holding the wire loose. So I don't think you need to worry about the length. I think this would be a good deal for a Fusion. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not installing this in my own car, so I can't be 100% certain, but I'm pretty comfortable that this is plenty of length to fit in a Fusion. From here on out, it's basically up to you how you want to hide the wires. I know in the Fusion, the easiest thing to do is basically just run the wires on the side of the center console, the piece that I have painted white, and basically just put everything in position, secure it, and just tuck all the wires in. If they're kind of messy underneath the center console, that's fine, you're never gonna see them. But that's basically what you do. It has the double-sided tape, so you can actually just peel that off. As long as you clean and prep the surface optimistically with some alcohol, which we have some right there, that should be enough to actually get a clean surface that you can stick it to and not have to worry about it. But yeah, at this point, you're basically just sticking everything in position, and there you go. All right, guys, all done putting up the lights and tucking the wires in position. But here we go. Well, they work. And I do have the module right here, so if I want to turn it off, I can just press the button and bam, they're all off. Red halos red halos. So you can tell we're siblings. Now she's probably actually gonna see this video before she sees this car in person. And this is the model H7090. There it is. Now we're connecting. We'll change the name to Nina's car. But as you can see right here, it has little segments. So let's just go ahead and do a gradient. Okay, all of these red, unclick those, make all of these blue. Also, all these other wires are just chargers and whatnot. But you can actually see pretty significantly how it has that little gradient effect. So this is actually really cool right here. I'm making my own pattern, and as you can see, I can choose the colors. So if I want red to go that far, I can. Blue. Make that blue. Let's make the last little bit pink. Apply. And you can see there it is right there, but it's a full speed. So you can see mine cycling from purple, blue, pink, and whatnot, and then this one doing it in a much more satisfying manner. The color that she said she wanted for this was pink, but I think it has way too many options to just be pink, so I added a few more colors. And then again, you can see right here on the brake pedal that it's multiple colors at the same time, which is just the coolest thing. And Nina, I hope you like it. Again, she'll probably see this video before she actually sees the car, so I think I'll leave it at this. All right, we are now back in my car, and honestly, this kit would make a really great gift for any automotive enthusiast because it's so easy to mess with. It really brightens up the interior of the car, makes driving a lot more immersive, especially at night. But yeah, this Govee kit is definitely one that I would recommend. I've gone ahead and linked a few kits that I personally like in the description box down below, just in case you're unsure of the kit you want to go with. I think these are all pretty solid deals, pretty good features, and I would personally be cool with buying them myself. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We're actually approaching 5,000 subscribers on the channel, which is absolutely insane. And I am planning on doing a special video to mark the occasion. It's actually been a pretty highly requested one. But nonetheless, be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you in the next one.